is up, sexy people of the internet? It is Dave, it is Duncan, back from Metal Epidemic for another album review. For this review, Duncan and I have been checking out the new album from German noisemakers Ultrablut. The band's new album, Tia, will be released on June 13th via The Lasting Dose Records. After finding their zen on their EP Tenerifia in 2024, Ultrablut now present their debut album, Tia. Here they surf through a world that has gone batshit crazy. I see what they've done there. And their globules no longer do the trick. Sometimes on the hunt, sometimes on the run, they croak, drag, and snarl their way through stalactite caves in which the patriarchy had scrawled some last swastikas before crashing a Tesla Cybertruck against the wall without being strapped in, all while sounding like Ari Aster staging a hardcore show with the Beach Boys.
You write this for us, like this is like personalize it, like ChatGPT. Write a listen to everything from Metal Epidemic and write them a PR release. I couldn't possibly do that, but this old thing. Love it.
Okay, so Tia, which I think it means well in German. The band's new album was recorded at Hidden Planet Studio in Berlin, produced, mixed, and mastered by Jan Oberg.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is an interesting
background,
one.
Background first.
Background first. So, one of the band members reached out to us after seeing our review of the new Eyes album, Spinner, and basically said he was a big fan of Eyes and Spinner, but also thought that if we liked that band and album, then we might also like his band, Ultrablut.
See how we did that there?
Yep.
That's how you do it, by the way.
That's,
there. You
Networking.
start by lavishing Dave with lots of praise. You know, your take on the Eyes album was pretty rad. Well, by the way, they slide your album into his DMs. He loves it. He loves it being slowly slide into the DMs. Slide it.
I'm all
in
for
chat
it.
time.
He sent over a single from the album. It's like if you listen to this, tell me and we'll sort
what
it out.
drug dealers do. They give you a taste. The first taste is for free.
Yep.
You get hooked on that. You're like, this is pretty. You're like, oh yeah, well, what's that? You want the whole album now?
Scratching and sweating. And
any more of those Ultrablut songs, mate?
So I listened to the single they sent over and I thought, you know what? I like the cut of your jib, son. I'm not gonna lie.
I do like the cut of your blut.
I went back to him. His name's Lansky. He's the vocalist of the band, who has also now just started sending me lots of awesome German sludge band recommendations, which is amazing. Absolutely loving it. And I've actually realised he's sending me this stuff. I'm thinking I'm not that familiar with a lot of German sludge, because I thought I was like, I know all that stuff.
But you're not familiar with a lot of German bands because they tend to sing in German.
This is
it's what I kind of love about Germany. Germany is one of the few countries in the world where they're like that. Fuck English, right? We're singing in our native tongue because guess what? That's how we speak, and I love that. So I'm all about that foreign language music.
Yeah.
Dave, on the other hand, a bit snooty.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, like out with the ocean and the Mantars and the Ahabs and all that, like. We probably tend to concentrate more on the Danish side than the German.
More recently, definitely, because the Danish scene is just.
But I'm all for this because I feel like there might be some untapped talent and some gems in here.
We love finding something which is under the radar and shining a wee spotlight on it. So
actually, I was thinking about this today. We're
fucking awesome, Duncan. That's what I was thinking.
I was like, we're fucking great at this, aren't we? No, actually, I was thinking today. There's an album that I play regular, and I have it on my phone downloaded because I listen to it that much. It's not even on Spotify. That's how good it is. It's not even on Spotify. A German band called Kashi Opea.
Yeah.
They put out an album about 20 years ago called.
And that's all you talked about 20 years ago.
Still talking about it. Panic in Solitude, I think, was the name of the album, and it's incredible. I love
I
that
can
album.
attest to this. He's literally like, like a whole year. Cassiopeia, right.
So
Dave.
good, German band. Kind of like mix of like hardcore and metalcore. Just fucking raw and heavy as fuck. Really dig that. So German band as well. So
Yeah.
lots of good stuff coming out of Germany.
So Dave
Duncan.
loves Germany. It's
Anyway.
basically what he's saying is he's on board. He is in your
On
wavelength. He's reciprocating. You're poking his DMs, and yeah, you were like, can we throw it in the busiest week of reviewing we've had this year?
Yeah. The 13th of June is stacked.
It's hench, Dave.
It's henge, Duncan. Absolutely is.
For subtle foreboding. No one will get that.
Yeah, makes no sense. It'll all make sense very soon. However, there's the police. Police are coming.
5-0.
I was like, okay,
What's
so
that she said about the Germans? I said I liked them, officer. All right then, I'll let you off.
I played the single. I was lubed up for the DMs. I was lubed up for the album. However, the lube did not prepare me for the full length from Ultrablut, Duncan. Did not.
Yeah, you're using lube wrong. Lube just makes things going easier. If the thing that's going in is long,
Right.
it's
Oh,
only what your
right.
body can take, right?
I thought it was to drink it. I was swallowing
No,
it.
it's-
Like,
Breathing exexercises.
that's why this hurt. Right.
So
Okay.
it's breathing exercises and arch your back. You'll be fine.
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, like this album, like it kind of. We reviewed an album a couple of weeks back by a band called. It's just last week. Turian, a band called
Yes.
Turian.
It was last week, yeah.
Last week, right? Okay, yeah. Time is just disappearing
Flat
right now.
circle.
Yeah. And these Ultrablut don't sound like Turian, but what I was thinking was they made me feel in a similar way. When I listened to both albums, I instantly got a sense of who the band were. Like
Yeah.
straight away, they both had personality in abundance.
Yeah, you literally know what the record collection looks like.
Yeah, yeah,
You know
sure
what
do.
I mean? You're walking in, you're not like,
Yeah, yeah.
really? You've got this album, like you're comfortable with it, you can navigate it.
And also both bands very open to taking risks.
Yes.
And
No risk. No
I like that, and especially in hardcore right now, because within that genre, it's very saturated just now, and it's difficult to stand out and get people to take notice of your band. But if you're willing to take that risk and just lay it all out there, then most of the time people will pay attention. And this album made me pay attention, Duncan, because this album absolutely fucks, Duncan. This is fucking awesome. Like stylistically,
If the Beach Boys form now in Germany, that's kind of what they'd sound like. You know what I mean?
yeah. This is the second time we spoke with the Beach Boys tonight. I don't know
What the fuck is going on?
what's
right?
happening. Yeah, so if you pulled like hardcore punk, like kind of noise punk, surf rock,
Surf rock. Yeah.
sludge, like a bit of black metal, then that kind of gives you a rough idea of what Ultrablut are bringing to the table.
Yeah.
But they deliver it with so much conviction on this album. Like this is a debut album. Like,
Which doesn't make sense.
did I
Doesn't
not
make
mention
sense.
that? This is a debut album, right?
Doesn't make sense.
And
Also, the album artwork looks like my smallest chihuahua when it's pinned on its back and I'm giving it a belly rub. Kind of love it. I want it on a t-shirt. I want that on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
That's all I want. So I can walk around and scare him. This is what you look like, you wee shit.
yeah, like how self-assured this album is ridiculous. Like, and how confident they are in their sound at this stage, where usually a band on a debut are like, yeah, we'll try and we'll throw all this stuff together and hopefully it turns out all right. But these guys have done it in a way which it sounds like they've been doing this for years. So it sounds like this could be album 3 or album 4. they had an EP in 2024, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And you could hear they had like even on that they had a decent grasp of what they wanted to do. It was a bit more sludge heavy, but I think there's a couple of members of the band come from a kind of sludge background. I think the band was Grim Van Doom. I think they come from. There's a couple of members from that band. So there's some of that carried through into the EP, but it also has that kind of heavy dose of like hardcore and punk and noise rock as well. With the album though, they've just basically pushed those boundaries out even more, like, and kind of bringing more styles into the mix and expanding that kind of palette of sounds that they have. And like the changes they've made have just made this so much more exciting. As I said, the EP had that kind of core of like sludge and hardcore running through it, whereas this album, it gives you like curveballs and like and tone switches that you are not expecting. And it gets to the stage where like you're not quite sure what's going to come next, but they do it in a way that feels like it's never like a jump too far. Which is where a lot of bands go wrong in a debut. You know, it just the jump from one style to another is
this
like,
is our first album, we need to do everything and we need to do it now.
Yes, and there's no real connection there, but this is very connected. It's very cohesive right through, and that's what kind of makes this so awesome. They take you from like raging hardcore punk meets like rock and roll with a side of like surf punk on the opening track, Timu Cobain, which could be one of the greatest titles I've ever heard. Then like they are touching on like sleaze rock and black metal on Car Hi-Fi Realitate, to electronic kind of infused indie surf punk on Ganbare, to like alternative noise rock on ZZZ Top,
which is also an incredible name.
Yeah.
let's give them their flowers as an incredible fucking name.
And that's like, not forgetting to mention this kind of like discordant shoegaze on track 10, Troffstein Hula, and like that, like I'm just throwing things in there. That's the tip of the iceberg of this album. And it sounds like, you know, there's maybe quite a lot of moving parts on this album, but they managed to package it in a way that just feels like it naturally grows over the course of the album.
That track, is it track 5, Chonder?
Yeah.
You know the theme from Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Well, see if that was a black metal sludge song, that'd be that.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's the longest song on the album, and I didn't want it. It's like 4 minutes long, and I got to the end and it was like that. One more riff.
Yeah.
Come on. Keep going, guys.
But that's like such a great sign of brilliant songwriting. Like because
they followed that one up with the electronic track, which is
like they've really thought about the best way to order the track so it doesn't feel like disjointed or overwhelming in any kind of way. I also like love the fact that this has this real kind of punk authenticity to it.
100%.
It runs through their veins on this album. The delivery on it is fucking savage, but not in like a fake or put on way. Like you can hear in the delivery of the instruments and the vocals from Lansky that they mean every single thing they do. Like in his vocals, you can hear it. Every word he sings or screams, it's like his vocals are almost like on a kind of unhinged level, where the way his tone kind of transforms like constantly throughout each track is quite incredible. And as much as this like sits within that kind of punk and hardcore foundation, there's parts of this that get really fucking bleak. You mentioned Chonder there, track 5. It's full of like big doomy sludge soaked riffs.
Sludge as fuck underneath,
like,
but
fucking vocals that go from like full kind of guttural to like black metal creaks. It's like unbelievable. Or like Conrad, where you hear more like a kind of dirty melody coming through in certain parts. But again, like there's always this kind of like Ultrablut kind of stamp on it. You know, their personality is all over this, and it never sounds like they're just like kind of imitating something else. He does a fucking dog bark at one point on Chonder, like what, like, and then not on like a not like a knocked loose.
No.
It's not a Rottweiler bark. It's like a fucking Chihuahua. Like it's like, but again, like it,
like the front cover of the album.
Yes,
I'm telling you, it all comes full circle,
yeah.
Dave.
But again, like it's just again highlighting their personality. And even though, like you mentioned earlier, a lot of the vocals on this are in German.
Yes.
So like
So, like, literally was running through my head, the entire listeners. I'm loving this. What will Dave think?
yeah, and like usually that would normally bother me.
It bothers you. Like, once again, we always assume that people listen to everything that we see on every single video. This might be someone checking our videos. It bothers you because
Just because when I don't know what the song's about or what the vocalist is singing about, I tend not to have the connection with like the track. Like, what is he singing about? Like, can I relate to this in any kind of way? And that gets lost a little bit when it's in a different language. However, the style and delivery of this sold it to me. Like, I was all in, and like there's melodies on this that I have no idea what I'm singing, but I am singing along. Like, I don't know. I'm singing along. It's not German, you know. Like, they would be embarrassed to hear what I was singing along. But the melody is that catchy that I'm still singing along to it. It's really well done. For me, the album just kind of gets better and better as it progresses. And each listen I had to it, like once you go over that kind of initial like explosion of styles and like chaotic energy, each time you hear it, it makes more sense, and you start to appreciate like the creativity that's and the thought process that's gone into this, even like down to the small things, and the production qualities. It's so like the production is so perfectly suited to the Ultrablut sound. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of this was recorded as a full band. It has that feeling, that like energy of a kind of live room of a band just kind of, you know, ripping out a bunch of songs, but it still has that bite to it, you know, like that, you know, that production to it, and those kind of angular riffs and the savage vocals, they still come across with a lot of kind of punch. So yeah, Jan's done a stellar job on the recording of this, even down to like the capturing the perfect guitar tone for this. Like the guitar tone fits such a multitude of styles here. Like
it really,
like they're
it weirdly switches into things you
like because there's tracks on here that are like have like an old school kind of traditional kind of hardcore punk sound, and then there's moments that are like indie, then they go right through to sludge and kind of black metal, and that the tone seems to work for everything. It's like really interesting, but a very good choice. These guys are ones to watch for sure. Like, very unique, ton of personality. I imagine they'd be nuts to see live. So like, if you're listening, Scotland is not that far away from Germany.
I imagine they're like that. Yeah, it's their first album. Scotland isn't far away from Germany. Dave, you could just come out. Come to Berlin.
I mean, there's a ton of venues over here that would suit these guys, like down to the ground. Gotcha. Like for a band I've never heard before, I'm extremely impressed. Like right off the bat, this is, for a debut, this is really good. Like, I really enjoyed this. What about you? What did you think?
Yeah, like I'm going to double down on this. If Quentin Tarantino was like a hardcore punk Sludge fan, he would love Ultrablut. And be all over his movies. This is great. This is great. So I get excited like about we're constantly on we're never happy, right? See, some music fans, like, I was thinking about this. I look around at people that are the same age as me, that grew up listening to the same age as me, and for whatever reason, there was a point where they were like, this far, no further on music, and they just closed off. Like, music's just not good these days, and they don't listen to the new stuff and all the rest, and they literally won't do it, right? And I went, like, as the true horror fan I am, right? I am constantly chasing that scare. That thing that terrified the fuck out of me when I was a kid when I watched a movie. I'm the same musically, right? I am constantly looking for the next thing that I listen to, and I'm like that. Oh, I'm on the ground floor, and this is fucking awesome. Ultrablut are that, right? I can't stress enough. Like, thank you very much for reaching out to Dave, and thank you for giving us this album review. I don't know how well you'll be covered, but it should be covered a lot. This to me is super exciting because not only does it is like an amalgam of lots of different styles of music, but you mentioned it, the weaving in is so impressive and also so difficult to do. And it's uniform as well. Like that kind of sporadic kind of fucking Ramones on fucking speed like style jaggy fucking punky sound just sits on all these different styles that they do, mostly through the guitar sound and the playing, but they can go anywhere with it and it works. Vocally, whilst the vocals aren't like the most dexterous in the world, that's not to say he doesn't go blackened and doesn't go deep. He does in this one here. But that tone sits very comfortably over it as well, which also probably shouldn't work as well as it does. And then the production, which like encompasses the whole thing, which has a kind of that live feel rawness, but not to the point where you're losing detail. Like the production in this is like it's absolutely impeccable for what's trying to achieve, and as a result, I think it lifts everything. And then the flow in the album, like there are no two songs side by side that sound alike, but there are no two songs at all that sound out of place. And the curveballs that they take you on, we mentioned it before, Chonder, which is this big 4-minute sludgy surf rocky, what the fuck is this track? Will be followed up by a track like Gambier, which is electronic but not fully that. You know, there's a kind of Ramones sort of punk song in the background from that one. The Trophus Herlen. See, I'm worse than Dave, and I studied German as well. Well, the fact that has massive like dream pop shoegaze like choral segments in it against everything else is a testament to how the band, this is all the stuff I crave, the stuff that like nothing's off the table, we'll just see if we can make it work, and it works here. That phrase, no risk, no reward, is there for a reason. If you don't gamble, then you are stuck releasing the same album, and some people like the same album 100 times over, but if you come out the gates giving us what you think is the best representation of your sound, which is everything, everywhere, all at once, I'm excited for that as a listener. I think this flows incredible. It sounds more seasoned than the band actually appear to be. And weirdly, when I first, I was maybe 2-3 songs into it, I struggled with and I'd misheard originally what you had said, like last week when you were talking about us doing this album. I thought what you'd said was, this guy reached out to me and said he was a huge Eyes fan, and if you liked Eyes, then you will like my band, which sounds like Eyes. It sounds like Eyes, right? No. But I kind of get that though. Like if you go back and listen to the previous 2 Eyes albums, they don't sound anything like Spinner, right? That's a band that's consistently changing the way that they approach music and their delivery. And actually, Ultrablut seem to have condensed that into one album, where they seem to be like almost charting a path where the next album that comes out could be any one of these elements more long form. It would totally fit, or it could just be a tearing up of the book and doing something completely different. You know what, that would work as well. It's an exciting place to be in. This is kind of fucking awesome. And a welcome surprise. I thought this was I can't the album artwork for the last week has been my on hold screen, because I just keep looking at it's pink and it's my dog. And not like, all joking aside, like not only want to watch, but I think like want to go and see. I if they're on a tour somewhere or you have access to go and see these guys live, do not miss out on this, because if it's half as interesting as this release, it's going to be an incredible fucking gig. It's a brilliant album.
For sure. Okay, so scores for Tia by Ultrablut. Like for a debut, this is really good. Like it's not normal for a band to come in with a debut as strong as this. Like
as eclectic and strong, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know, we've heard debuts that have been like eclectic, but they don't hang together as well as this. Impressed, very impressed. First album, and I'm really excited to see where this goes next. If that's the quality of the debut that you're putting out, then what's this band sound like in 2 years' time or 3 years' time? Like? At this stage, Yeah, 4.5 for me. Like, I'm going to go pretty high on this, which is kind of rare for a debut, but it's this good. So 4.5 out of 5 for me. What are you thinking?
I'm joining you. I don't know if this is the first time we've agreed tonight, but
Yeah, I
I'm
think it
going to
might
say
be. Yeah.
I'm going to say it is, right? Because we've been recording for like 100 hours. So at this point, let's just say it is, and
Yeah,
it becomes
it
a fact.
is.
Yeah, 4.5 for me.
Yeah, Ultrablut, Tia, check these guys out. Like flying under the radar here, but this is the kind of stuff we love to do and put a spotlight on for people to check out. I'll put all the links so you can have a listen to the band, the pre-orders there, all that sort of stuff. Let us know what you think. Happy to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. That's a review. Thanks for checking it out. Much appreciated. We'll be back with another review very soon. But until then, take care. Speak to you soon.
Bye, everyone.